Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia. This is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish, especially shimmers, because this is my third shimmer video. And yeah, so in case you are new here or haven't seen the other videos that are about shimmers, I have a playlist that I'll link in the description of this video. That's a link to like my favorite nail polishes that I have in my collection. And I started this series on my favorite toppers by showing my favorite glitter toppers. Then when I got to shimmers, I realized I had so many shimmer toppers, I needed to split that across multiple videos. So I did one video about fancy gloss shimmer toppers. Then I did another one about my favorite hollow taco shimmer toppers. And today, this one is, I think, what I'm tentatively calling all the rest. The ones that are from other brands that I don't necessarily have enough of any like one brand to be able to do an entire video on its own for. So I decided to put them all in this video and show you all how I like to use those. I will say that doing these shimmer videos has really helped me to use them even more than I already have been, which was probably a lot. And I think it's just, I say this a lot, but really the versatility that you get from shimmer polishes and how it can completely transform a polish that might have been a little bit plain, a little bit more on the basic side, and gives you something that's completely changed, very glittery, just everything. So I'm gonna stop gushing over shimmers now and yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The first polish that I want to show you today is from Crack Polish. It is Petals on the Surface. This is one of two polishes in this video that the interesting thing is they're technically not advertised as being shimmer toppers because they're more so magnetic toppers that are shimmery. And so with this one, it is a magnetic polish, and I do sometimes wear it magnetized, but there are also times where, you know, if you look here and you can see it's got this like pink, orange, gold glow to it. When that's what I'm looking for, I will use it that way, and it's great that I'm able to get different types of use out of this polish, especially for times when I don't always want to magnetize my nails. So as always, I'm starting with a white-black split. The Crack Polish Crinkled Linens is the white side, the technically off-white side, but it's the one I use all the time. And then the black side is Hollow Taco's One Coat Black. So let's begin with this one. And yeah, you all soon see what I mean when I say this is not intended to be your traditional kind of shimmer topper. Okay. So if you're seeing this and you're like, Olivia, that is super gritty, I'm like, yeah, I know. The over black, that side, it's not as bad, I think, but let's just say this is definitely not a polish I would ever choose to wear over white, because you just see so many of the speckles that are in there, and that's just not really the look that I would go for. Personally, when I find that I get the best use out of Petals on the Surface, this is a polish that I feel often works best over like purples, pinks, but when it comes to the way that I'm going to show you that I use it beyond, say, like if you wanted to put over black, I have an orange one here, also from Cracked. This one is Crack-O-Lantern. And it's, you know, you look at it from a distance, it's this like reddish orange color. It mainly reads as orange. And I've mentioned many times before on this channel that with me having cooler undertones, I don't always like to wear warmer colors like orange. I did wear this a little bit around Halloween, and that was fun, but I'm always on the lookout for ways that I can use my polishes beyond just the most obvious and most immediate way that comes to mind for me. And so that's where using a shimmer topper, or a topper like Petals on the Surface that I'm using as a topper because of how much I love its shimmer, can be something that's really innovative. By the way, I should mention that unfortunately both of these polishes are no longer available in Crack's online store, but if you are interested in them, definitely stay on the lookout for them in like a D-Stash or on sites like Mercari. You might find it there. So here's what we've got. Here's how like 2 coats of Crack O' Lantern looks on its own, you know, orange, right? It's a beautiful polish, but y'all, wait until you see what happens when I put Petals on the Surface over this. So I mentioned that, I think I mentioned when I showed you the close-up of the Crack O' Lantern bottle, there is a little bit of a pink glow in here if you look and you see it at certain angles, but it's mainly orange, right? So what I love about putting Petals on the Surface over Crack O' Lantern is that if I'm saying that the pink aspect of Crack O' Lantern is one of the things that I enjoy most about that polish, then I can put like a pink shimmer topper over it, and what this will do is essentially amplify that pink and make it so that in addition to the pink that's already present in Crack O' Lantern itself, I'm getting even more of that. It's a lot more pink forward than it was before. And for me, this is great because it makes it so that this combination here is something that I can see myself wearing at more times of the year than I would with Crack O' Lantern on its own. And also because of Crack O' Lantern already having a little bit of like visual texture in there, this kind of speckled look that we got when we put Petals on the Surface over white, you don't get that at all here. It's just like, oh, it's orange, but it's glowing pink. So this is, like I said, this is one of 2 magnetic toppers I've got in this video that I'm going to show you this way. Now I'm actually thinking I should do, as though I didn't already have like enough topper videos that I'm like planning, but if y'all would be interested in seeing me do a video on my favorite magnetic toppers and like showing you how they look when they're magnetized in different ways, let me know and I can totally do that. But yeah, this is Petals on the Surface. Next, we have a purple shimmer topper from BCB Lacquers called Wet Spot. And y'all, this is bright. Like, you see how it's kind of picking up those that brightness there on the camera? Like, that's how it looks in the bottle, but let me show you how it looks when I take out the brush. It is just super glowy bright. And I will show you how this looks over white and black. So yeah, it is very glowy. I think once again, I may have picked up a little bit of the black there on the white side. So if you do see some streakiness, that's coming just from the black polish over there and not from the topper. I think this looks best on the darker side here. You know, if you are in the case where you are like, you know what, I want a little bit of purple pink glow, like it's almost like a multi-chrome finish there. I think I've never really thought about it that way until now, but this is like in over black, it ends up looking like a very shifty, like purple to red to pink multi-chrome. Huh. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm actually stunned because I never noticed it that way. See, you know, I'm learning stuff too here. This is great. This is why I do this. Now, beyond say something like black, I think I tend to wear this polish, this shimmer topper more over like also bright colors, because you know, we'll see some other shimmer toppers in this video that are going to be the same thing that I describe here, which is that when the topper is so pigmented and so bright itself, it can be the case where if you put it over certain colors that are that have a certain amount of saturation in them, or that are a certain lightness or dark color, it can get to the point where all that you see is this color instead of like a really good blend between the base color that you're starting with plus that shimmer topper. And so in other words, what I mean is, part of using shimmer toppers is doing this kind of exercise to figure out like which colors work best with each topper, because you know, you don't want to just put it over anything and it's like, oh well, that just I'm not getting any of whatever base, I'm just seeing only the shimmer topper. So my thinking with this one, Wet Spot, is that because it is so bright and vivid already, it needs to I like to pair it with polishes that are also very bright and vivid. So this example comes from Atomic Polish Radon, and you can see very, very bright pink. But I feel that you'll see what I mean once I put this topper on it. You know, it looks beautiful on its own, but when I add a topper over it, now it's glowing. Now it's like bam. So this is exactly what I mean when I say that this combination, in my opinion, works incredibly well, because I'm getting that purple glow from the topper, but I'm also still seeing the bright, vivid pink that's underneath there. I feel like where I would not use a very bright and pigmented topper like this would be like, if I were to put this over, say, like a dark purple, even like a slightly darker pink, it would read exactly like it does right here when I put it over black. Like I could probably barely pick up what's coming underneath. So my recommendation is, like, if you have any very bright, vivid, ultra pigmented shimmer toppers like this in your collection, try to approach it in a way where you can get that topper to work with you, as opposed to like working against you, and just like, hey, this topper wants to be really bright and vivid, let's pair it with something that's right there with it. And I think you know, you'll find you'll get an excellent result like this. Next is Crack Polish Scorchy, and this is the second one that I mentioned in this video that's technically a magnetic topper that I will use it as a magnetic topper, but I also just love this rich, like, coppery color that's in here. And for times when I want there to be this kind of glow on top of another polish, I will just put Scorchy over it as though I'm using it as a shimmer topper without magnetizing it. And yeah, this is, oh, I love this one. Also, something I'll mention is that I decided to kind of switch up my process for this a bit and pre-swatch out all of my white and black nails over here, so that hopefully by the time I get to those later in the video, they will be fully dry and we won't have any smearing issues. So let me go ahead and show you how Scorchy looks over white and black. And yeah, so you can see how, like, I'm starting with the white side, and this is like, don't be alarmed, but this, I just want to give the disclaimer again. This is not intended to be used as like a shimmer topper in the same way that some of the other polishes in this video are. It just happens to be a magnetic topper that I use for its shimmer qualities. Like, so let's just look at the white side. I mean, we see her, we're just going to acknowledge her and move on. But then I think over black, this is a really good combination here. It's like if you if you love dark nail polish but want to give it just a little bit more warmth, adding something like Scorchy on top of that is a good idea. For the other color today, I decided to go with like a very dark purple. This is Zoya's Billy. And this is a purple that I love in my collection because while it is a dark purple, it's not so dark to the point where it no longer reads as purple in indoor lighting. Like you can still see indoors that this is purple. But let's say there are times where I want this purple base, but I want to do something a little bit different with it. I think this might be one of my top combinations in this video, and you'll see why. So here is Scorchy over Billy. And that is just, oof. It is so, so pretty. Like the end result here is just something that honestly looks like it could just be its own polish that you just, would get out of a bottle just like that. It's, you still see Billy underneath there, and you see like that dark purple, but what Scorchy does is that it adds a little bit of warmth, it adds some more color shiftiness. And don't get me wrong, like Billy on its own does have a, there we go, just like I just plop this in on the nail and just straight up smudge this. I'll fix that. Billy does have its own shiftiness on its, by itself, but nowhere near to the extent to what you get when you put something like Scorchy over it. So once again, my recommendation here is if you have, say, Scorchy in your collection or even another magnetic topper, hey, if you haven't already done so, try to test it out as just a shimmer topper. It may not work for all of them, but you might find yourself being quite surprised by some additional versatility that you can get from some of those polishes. Next is a topper from Cirque Colors called Nectar. Oh, this is like liquid gold in a bottle. Just, I saw this one on Cirque's website and thought, okay, that looks nice, but I bet if I were to buy this and see it in person, it's probably not gonna be as good as I think. And no, it was actually better. I mean, this just sparkles. I bought this one back when I was still on the hunt for a really good gold scattered hollow glitter topper, and this is not that. This is more shimmery, but I still needed some kind of gold topper in my collection. So while this did not end up filling that need of what I was looking for with like gold scattered hollow glitter, I am so happy that I got it anyway, because for times where I just want to feel like I have brushed gold onto my nails, that is where Nectar comes in. So let me show you how it looks over white and black. And here we go. Okay, first of all, let me just do a close-up on this brush, see if I can focus on that. Like, that is just everything. Okay, I'll stop now. Okay, so back to, see, this is the thing that happens when I do these videos where I'm talking about my favorites. Like, I get so distracted, but hopefully you all can tell that these are, in fact, my favorites. Okay, ooh, I need to pick up a little bit more polish there. There we go. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I will say, once again, it smeared the black there, even though this has been sitting for like a good 10 minutes. So I am sorry for any kind of like streaking that you see over there. But yeah, you can see just like the shimmer density that we have here. I don't think that I mean, I definitely do not use this one over white because of how it just like, you know, not that gold and white can't pair well together, but I feel that this is just not the best pairing of like polishes for me personally. Over to the black side, it's getting a little bit better, but once again, I don't wear Nectar over black either, just because I think that it stands out a little bit too much there for me. The way that I do use Nectar, what I tend to do is put it over more neutral to like orange, yellow, kind of warmer colors, where I like the base color, but I want it to pop somewhat more. So the example I've got for this today is a Crelly from Cracked called I Am What I Am. And I've built this up here in 3 coats. And it's, you know, it's fine on its own, but wait till you see how it looks when I add Nectar on top of it. If I can get it there. Okay. I'm so uncoordinated today, y'all. I'm sorry. Just a little bit more there. Okay. There we go. I think I did this combination in one of my earlier videos, and I referred to it at the time as a yam that has gone to the club. And I still, to this day, stand by that assessment in the best way, because this is seriously a yam that is in the club. Like, it's showing up to the club. It's like, you know, checking in. It's on that VIP list. Everybody's looking at it with its outfit. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm just taking this story too far. But like, what I want you to notice here is how, at least in my opinion, how much better Nectar pairs with I Am What I Am than it does with either black or white. And I feel that this is because of the warmth in Nectar just complements the warmth in I Am What I Am so well. And this is something that I think if you also have some like neutral orange, yellow polishes in your collection, that especially creams or Crellys, that you find that you haven't been getting a lot of use out of, but then you have a gold shimmer topper like Nectar as well, pair them together and see how it goes. I think you might be very happy and surprised with the result there. This is absolutely how I most prefer to use Nectar. And yeah, once again, I just want to say, this is why I feel it's so important to do this kind of exercise of see how it goes over white, see how it goes over black, and if neither of them are your jam, go to a yam. I don't know why I am so trippy today, but here we are. So let's go on to the next one. Next is another shimmer topper from BCB Lacquers. This one is called Next Question. And this is one that I would say is, you know, this is why it's important to understand the difference between when you are looking for a gold shimmer topper versus a yellow shimmer topper. So I'm just gonna pull Cirque Colors Nectar back in real quick. So Cirque on the left with Nectar, this is what I would consider to be a gold shimmer topper. And then on the right, Next Question is more yellow. And I feel that it's important to understand that difference, because let's say it's the case that you were looking for a gold shimmer topper with this kind of result, but then you saw something like Next Question that reads more yellow, and then you know you get it, you try it out, and you're like, wait, why didn't it look gold? So that's also part of why I want to do this video for those of you who are looking for new shimmer toppers to add to your collection. Hopefully these comparisons will help you to be able to see the difference, especially with these two being done kind of like side by side. So let me go ahead and put this one over white and black. And I really hope that the black has dried by now, because it has been a good many minutes. I'm gonna be very cautious with this. Okay, so let's kind of focus in on the, first of all, before I go in and really show you like the white and black, focus on next question. I think this angle right here is probably going to be the best one for you to see the difference in how Cirque's Nectar on the left appears over something like black versus how next question appears over black, and you know, you can hopefully see that difference in what I mean versus like gold versus black. Okay, so focusing in on next question, we take a look at this over white, and it's, you know, not as, say, speckled as some of the other polishes that I've shown so far in this video. But at the same time, I never really wear this over white. It just isn't my kind of vibe. Let's look at it over black. This getting a little bit better. I think it kind of gives you like this, it looks very similar to some of the like brown to orange, green, yellow multi-chromes that I have in my collection. So now that I'm seeing that, I'm thinking like if I ever run out of those, this could be a pretty good substitute. But the way that I mainly use this topper is over other colors, like the one that I have here, which is from Color Club. This is a very vibrant, like corally red cream polish called Blaze, and the formula is like butter. It just works so well. I just love this color. I bought this one when I was on the hunt for like a good like corally red, and I was not disappointed by this one. So I feel like this works well on its own, you know, but if I wanted to do something a little bit different with it, what I could do is add next question and watch how this transforms. Now, that is what I would personally call Blaze. Like this just, it looks, okay, it looks like a flaming jelly bean. Like if, like don't do this, but like if you had a red jelly bean and then you like set it on fire or something, I don't know, that why do I think of these examples like this? But it also just looks like a beautiful evening sunset. You know, and I think that this color combination works so well because next question as a topper helps to bring out a little bit more of the warmth that is in Blaze, and it just really like pushes it there. Like it just goes all in on the warmth. This is when like you are having a sunny day and you want your fingernails to be having that sunny day right there with you. So yeah, if you have next question in your collection, my recommendation, or if you have any other kind of like yellow shimmer topper in your collection like this, try it over something like a reddish orange red cream. The results here I just think are absolutely stunning. The next topper that I have is ILNP's Renegade. It is a really pretty green, glowy shimmer topper. And this is actually the first and only shimmer topper that I have so far from ILNP. I have a bunch of other types of toppers from them. Like I've got flaky toppers. I think I have some, do I have some glitter toppers from them? I don't know. I know I definitely have a bunch of flaky toppers from them, but I was surprised when I realized like, oh yeah, they make shimmer toppers. Maybe I should try one. So we've got Renegade, and I'm really happy with how this performs. So let me show y'all over white and black. All think I finally reached the point where this black is no longer streaking for me, so that's good. So you can see that this does have a, I spoke too soon, there it is. So you can see here that this does have a little bit of additional visual texture to it. Like, in addition to there being green shimmer, it almost looks like, and I mean this in a good way, y'all, it looks scaly. Like if you wanted to do a manicure that looked like snakeskin, like you've got it right here. Just put Renegade over black or like a dark green even, and not only do you get that green glow, but you also get that like the shapes that are in there, and I really like that about this. Over white, not so much. I mean, that does tend to be the case for a lot of shimmer toppers that aside from like the ones that I showed in my fancy gloss video that are just very a lot smoother, those are the ones that I tend to put over like lighter colors and cream polishes. But that is why I use polishes like Renegade for other purposes. So I will say we are now at the point in this video where we have reached the like, okay, hear me out portion. This combination is gonna seem a little bit out of left field, but I promise it's gonna work. So what I've got here is Atomic Polish Terraforming Mars 2.0. I actually bought this one through, I think it was, yeah, Hella Handmade Creations, August 2024. I told my husband about this, and he is really big into board games. I think at one point he had, or he's got anywhere from like 250 to 300 board games in his collection, including Terraforming Mars. So when he saw and heard that there was going to be a nail polish that was based on that, he's like, you should get it. And so I did. And it's a very like dusty mauve-y color that already has its own kind of pink magenta shimmer in this. However, it's a polish that I never wear. I like, if I put it over my finger here, you can see it's like, it's fine. It just falls a little flat for me. I just never reach for it. And so I just want to say again, a big part of why I'm choosing to do these shimmer or these topper videos is that I hope it gives you all some inspiration for, like, if you have polishes like this in your collection where you're like, you kind of see the potential of it, but for some reason it just doesn't fully jive with you, you never reach for it, maybe adding a topper to it can make the difference there. Now, with that being said, I feel like part of my approach to this is a little bit based on the name of this being like referencing Mars, which I already am seeing like in the polish itself. But I thought, what if I put Renegade on top of this? Like, it's either going to be real good or like, so let me show you how that turns out. Okay. All right, so let's talk about this. Now, something that I've been saying a lot when it comes to these topper videos is that I really often am looking for combinations where I can get the added benefit of whichever topper I'm using, but in a way that doesn't take away from the essence of whatever color or whatever polish I've chosen to use as a base. And so when I look at this, do I still have everything that I like about Terraforming Mars? Absolutely. But now it's like Mars that has been inhabited by like some kind of space creature that's glowy or something like that. It's just like, I'm seeing this as you have this like space rock that, depending on the angle that you look at it from, like if I look at it from at least, let me shift it a little bit so that it's not just my personal line of sight, but more so the camera's. Okay, if I look at it from this angle, you see a little bit of glowiness, but not a whole lot. Like, it's more so reading just the Terraforming Mars base. But then, boop, suddenly you see that it's almost like glowing green from within. Like, this is, I was so surprised when I was planning out this video and when I got to this part, because I feel like there's always this one combination in every video where I am just so stunned that I am like stopped in my tracks and I just cannot believe how this combination came together. And this for me is that one. Like, now I am really excited to wear Terraforming Mars because I haven't been able to find a good time to use this, but I think that now if I put it over my finger, you see how like from before it was just like there, it was kind of falling flat, but now there's like some shiftiness and glowiness to it. Like, okay, like I always say, I need to know when to stop talking, because this is the polish that I could go and talk about for forever, this combination. I'm not going to do that, but I will just say I myself have not seen this combination yet in my other lighting from downstairs, so I can't wait to see how it glows there. Next, as a horror fan, this is one of my favorites. It's from Knees Lacquer, and y'all already know how I'm gonna say this one. Nosferatu. This is a very glowy blue shimmer polish, but I think what's important to note about this one that you can kind of see if you take a look around the edges there, it's not just blue shimmer in a clear base. It's like blue shimmer in a like dusty gray base. And because of that, this is, you know, this all connects back to what I've been saying about the importance of knowing when to get the best use out of each shimmer topper. So like, for example, with this being a shimmer topper that's already in a dusty kind of base, I find that dustier polishes are the ones where this like pairs best together. What I would not want to do would be to say put this on top of like the Color Club polish that I just showed a few swatches ago, Blaze over here, because the dustiness of this polish would be working against me here, as opposed to like working together with the cream polish I'm going to show you in a bit. So let's go ahead and put Nosferatu over white and black. Also, while I'm doing this, I will say I absolutely loved the Nosferatu movie that came out last year. It was a wonderful way to spend Christmas. Okay. And as I'm putting this over white and like smoothing it out there, you can probably see, like, if I zoom in, okay, so this is going to be like very specific, but if you take a look and see, I'm going to see how far I can zoom in here. Do you see like the part that's not covered by the topper, like in that bottom left corner of the nail? That's where we just have like the white polish crinkled linens from before. So you can see that the part that is covering this swatch is where we do have the Nosferatu topper on it. And because of that, it does darken the white side a bit there. And on the black side, we really don't experience that same effect, because black, it just swallows that up and it's totally fine. But this is, it is such a striking blue topper that I just love to wear. And naturally, I had to pair it together with Knees Lacquer Undead, which was also from their Nosferatu collection. This polish here, when I saw this, I knew I had to get it, because it's unlike any other color that I have in my collection. It's like a very dusty blue gray. It's like a foggy London morning, that kind of vibe. And I like Undead on its own, but for times when I want to make it pop a little bit, I think that Undead is an excellent base color to use that pairs well with Nosferatu, and I'll show you why. Okay, I'm just going to preface this by saying this is going to be one of these times where I might talk a little bit longer, but just because I really want to make sure that this point is clear. So, you know, often I know some people, when they think about using shimmer toppers, they're like, well, they really just limit themselves to putting it over something like black, because often that can make sense. You know, you have a black cream in your collection, and you can, you often see swatchers put not just swatchers, but you also see on polished websites that shimmer toppers, flake toppers, and so on are swatched out over black. But I really encourage you to not limit yourself to that. There's nothing wrong with, in this example, Nosferatu over black, but I just want to zoom in a bit so that you can see the difference between putting this topper over black versus something like Undead, which is also dark, but it's not black. It's like you saw, it is this dusty blue-gray polish. And the difference here is that, you know, it's a very subtle difference, I think. What happens when you put Nosferatu over black is that I think the black background is, it kind of like swallows up the gray base that's in Nosferatu, and then it leaves the blue shimmer to really pop. But then what happens when you put Nosferatu over Undead is that the dustiness of Undead pairs incredibly well with the dustiness that is in Nosferatu, and because of that, what you get is this beautiful dusty baby. And now I'm imagining a baby that's just like, it needs to like be Swiffered or something like that. But do y'all know what I mean? Like, it, you know, you look at this and it's just, you still get the blue shimmer, but in a way that is like looking through the mist. And I just, once again, encourage you all, do this kind of experimentation with your polishes, because at first glance you might assume like, well, if you already know how a shimmer topper looks over black, there's no need to try to test it out over something like Undead, because you think, well, that's kind of almost black, right? But no, it's like, when you really get into the nuances of seeing like how saturated is this, how like dusty of a vibe are we getting, how vivid is it, those are the questions you really want to ask yourself. Because I know there are times when I want this blue Nosferatu over black combination, and there's other times when I want more of this combination. I think, do I want to wear that tomorrow? Like, sorry, I'm just like, I literally just did my nails like earlier today and magnetized them at that, but so I have no business trying to be like, do I want to do my nails over? But I just really love this combination here. So hopefully that all makes sense. And let's move on to our final shimmer topper before we get into the last part of this video, which is I'm gonna make my own shimmer topper. Yay! Next is from Emily Damali, Key Drama. This is a relatively newer one to me in my collection. And I saw this, I've seen this one on their online store for a while and have been meaning to pick it up, and I finally did. And because I'm like, there's, I know for myself, Shimmer toppers are just kind of my weakness. I just love having them and having different variations of them. And so with this, I want to have it here as a way to show you the difference between something like this and something like Nosferatu, which, like I mentioned, has more of like that dustier vibe to it. So this, you can see it's like, it is just bam, blue. So let's go ahead and put this over white and black. Okay, just a little bit more here. All right. So what you can see with it over white is very common for blue shimmer toppers, in my experience, that they end up having a slight yellow cast over white. So that is something to keep in mind if you are thinking about wearing like a blue shimmer topper over white. You kind of have to be okay with the white having that yellowish tint to it, and that's why I often, while I do like to wear shimmer toppers over white, it tends to be other colors like purple, green, red, just not blue for me personally. So now if we go over here and do this over like black, the way that I would probably compare these, if you see here, is that like Nosferatu has like a much more like a deeper cobalt blue, whereas Key Drama almost looks like, I wouldn't say teal because I'm not getting green in here, but it's like a lighter oh, I can't think of what word I want to use to describe this here. It's like a lighter blue, like a sky blue, like a metallic sky blue. There we go. Words are hard, y'all. Now, as far as which polish I want to put this over, I decided on BCB Lacquers Hadouken, or if any of y'all like me are gamers and also love Street Fighter, I have to say this as Hadouken. And so this is going to be one that is very similar to the reasoning that I had for using Crack-O-Lantern over here, where Crack-O-Lantern, if you recall, was primarily orange, but had some aspects of like pink in it. And I chose to put Petals on the surface over it so that it could amplify those pink tones. Very similar here with Hadouken. So if we look at this, you can see that it is mainly red, but it does seem to have some kind of like bluish purple shimmer to it. And you know, when I first got this one in the mail, I was surprised by how I just didn't like it on me out of the bottle, and I couldn't put my finger on why. And then I kind of discovered my love of shimmer toppers, and that was what helped me to find the missing piece. For me, what I love so much about Hadouken is that blue purple shimmer in there. So what I'm going to do is put Key Drama on top of that so that I can get more of that out of the way that this polish is presenting, while still keeping the essence of what Hadouken has to offer. So hopefully you can see what I'm talking about now. You still have Hadouken, it's still there, but the difference now is that I feel like instead of that blue glow coming from within, it's coming from within and around the entire nail, which is like what I would prefer for this polish. I really like this, and you know, at the same time, I would not put Nosferatu over Hadouken for the reason I mentioned, that this, in my opinion, is not a dusty polish. So if I were to put like a dusty blue shimmer over this, it would like, I would get blue, but it would also give me like more of a dusty gray take on it, which I don't want. So using something like Key Drama, over Hadouken gives me that glow. And now, you know, I think it's probably because like the name of this polish is Hadouken, and I kind of want my fingers to look like a fireball that I'm throwing at people. So now I feel that I have that. So after I, you know, I'm gonna edit in the clip of showing this in some other lighting as with everything else. And up next, I'm going to make my own shimmer topper. Okay, let's make our own shimmer topper. These supplies that I'm using today, most of them, the suspension base, and the Jelly Aurora pigment are both from Glitter Unique. The suspension base that I'm using is the mica / pigment suspension base. And because the topper that I'm going to make today is one that is like a color that I don't already have represented for shimmer toppers, I know that I'm going to want to use my larger size bottle for it instead of the smaller ones that I sometimes start with. So this is a 15 milliliter bottle. So I've already poured out 15 milliliters of suspension base into my little measuring cup. And one of the things that I love about Glitter Unique is that they sell various types of little pigment glitter sample packs, so that before you say commit to buying a larger size of an ingredient that might not end up working out for you, or that you don't really like as much as you thought you would, you can start with these much smaller bags that come in their sample packs, which, you know, it's smaller, but it still is quite a bit to make at least a couple of bottles and to use, depending on how much you use, of course. So this came in their Jelly Aurora sample pack. And this one, if you see how it's like catching the light, this one, number 4, it is more of like a warm orangish color. And aside from, say, Scorchy, which, like I mentioned earlier, is technically a magnetic topper, I don't really have something that is just you know, supposed to be just a topper for itself. So I'm gonna use my little measuring cup here. Hopefully I do not end up getting this spilled all over myself. I'm going to put this in here. Oh, it's like packed in there. Okay, let's kind of scoop it out then. Get out of there. Okay, that is, oh, okay, yeah, there's definitely more in there. Let me scoop it out there. There we go. And just gonna mix this up. You know, with one of the things about polish making is that you always want to start small with your ingredients, because if it turns out that you end up needing more of something, you can always add in more. But if I had started with, like, say, a bigger scoop of this, I can't remove that. I mean, I could always add like more suspension base to try to like make it so that I'm changing the proportions. But yeah, just start small. Okay, this is looking good so far. Another thing I often like to do when I make my own polishes is to add some thinner in there, because for me it's a lot easier to add a few drops of thinner into these little measuring cups and like really evenly mix it up there. Okay, yeah, that's a much better consistency for me than it is to try to do that and also get that mixed in when I am doing it in the bottle. So I think this is good. I mean, a little bit of pigment goes a long way, and I think this is going to be good enough for me. So now I am going to close up my little baggie and then get my bottle here. I know people say you can like squeeze the sides of the cups together to make like a little pour spout, but y'all, I did that one time. I squeezed too hard and like I ended up with cracking the side of the measuring cup and it just spilled everywhere. So what I like to do now is just pour it from a height where there's enough of a stream there that it kind of just comes out like a little waterfall, and I just go a little bit slow so that it doesn't overfill. Almost there. Just a little bit left. Okay. All done. And now, just like that, we've got a shimmer topper. And you know, I should also mention that these types of like aurora pigments aren't just intended to be used like this, like as literally the only thing that I'm putting in here. You could also mix in other like color pigments, glitters, flakes, other things like that. Like this is just one aspect of it. But in my case, because I'm doing a shimmer topper video, I'm just leaving it here. So I'm gonna start by putting this over our white and black. And yeah, so here you can see a little bit more of what I mean about like how this looks now as a polish. Okay, there we go. Ooh, okay, yes, that is exactly. How is this still smeared? Yo, it has been like at least 40, 50, I don't know how that is still smearing. Okay, I'm so sorry, it's still doing that. Okay, we really want to just focus on the black side of this mainly. Okay, there we go. This is like, if I compare this across the way to what we've got with Scorchy, I think Scorchy is more of like copper red, whereas this is like light pumpkin orange, which you know, I've got the whole sample pack, which I think came with like 5 different aurora colors in it, and I chose specifically this one because it's an orange and I knew that I didn't have like an orange shimmer in my collection, so I wanted to make one, and I really like how this looks. Now in terms of putting it on top of another polish, I wanted to see how this looks over Bee's Knees Lacquer Undead, because I think that blue and orange can pair very well together because of color theory, which I won't get into too much detail about right now, but I will mention that I am planning to do a full video coming up on how to use color theory to help you pick your nail polish colors. So be on the lookout for that. Oh my goodness. Okay. That, I know I said that like as I plan these videos out, I try different combinations and stuff, and I do that for like everything but the like when I make my own polish. Like this is my first time making this shimmer topper, so I haven't used it before now, and I certainly had no idea how it was gonna look over Undead. Oh, that is great. This is like, yeah, I'm getting the same kind of take on this that I did when we were talking about it over here with Nosferatu, where like the difference between using a black, like a stark black cream base for a topper versus using something that has just a little bit more like variety to it, where it's dark but it's not black, and that's what I'm getting here. Like this is just, you know, I'll tell you what this looks like. This is like giving me when you are oh, it's not so much anymore because like the street lights are all like white now, but you remember back in the day, I say this like I'm, you know, older than I am, but like back in my day, back when the street lights had this like orange amber color to it, and you would go out late at night and you would see those the street lights hitting the sidewalk and the asphalt, and especially on a rainy day, That is what that combination is. Oh, okay. So like I know I just said like a few minutes ago that I was gonna wear this color combination tomorrow, but and I also said, I know I also said that this was the color combination that had me stopped in my tracks, but like, oh, woof, that is so good. I'm sorry. I just I really do not know what to say. This is why I love shimmer toppers. Okay. And I'm gonna, just like everything, I'm gonna put some top coat on these, gonna take it down and show it in the other lighting, but oh my goodness. I'm so happy with this. So it's actually the next day now, because after I finished doing my like filming last night, I took a break to eat dinner and then I fell asleep. And so I'm back today, and now my Alexa device will not turn on and get me my really nice lighting. So we're just here. It's good. But yeah, I really had a good time doing all of these shimmer swatches, and especially like doing the one towards the end here where I like use the Glitter Unique pigment to make that orange shimmer topper that I just absolutely love. I think I mentioned when I did the Holo Taco video that I had held off on buying their orange shimmer topper because it just seemed a little bit too vivid orangey gold for me, whereas this I feel is a lot more my kind of vibe. Like I mentioned, that whole kind of like being on a rainy dark street with the overhead lights and everything, and it's totally a vibe. So yeah, I really hope that these 3 shimmer topper videos have been helpful for you all, whether it's the case that you were watching them to get a sense of which shimmer toppers are out there that you might consider adding to your collection, or if you're on a low buy, no buy, and you're watching these videos to try to get some ideas for what are some things that you can do.
Now in setup mode. Follow the instructions in your Alexa app.
I swear, like now that I am I'm filming my video, now that is when it decides to start talking. My goodness. Anyway, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. Yeah, so I've got some other videos I'll be planning and doing in the coming days and weeks. Be on the lookout for absolutely my favorite flake toppers. I haven't yet gone through the ones that I have to kind of see if it's the case that I just like the shimmer toppers. Do I have so many of them that it makes more sense for me to split them out into like separate videos by brand or what? But then also earlier in this video, I mentioned that I will most likely also want to do a video about my favorite magnetic toppers. And there's a bunch of other fun stuff coming up too. And as always, please let me know if there are any other video suggestions that you would like to see. Sorry, I'm still cracking up about how now my smart device wants to start. Anyway, so I'm gonna go and finish getting that reset so I can get my nice lighting back. But thank you all again for being here, for watching this video. I hope that your days are filled with lots of glow and shimmer, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.